Hello everyone, Bona Sarah. I guess it is 8:07 p.m. EST here on the East Coast of the United States. I'm coming to you live from approximately there, and today we're going to be working more on our heart rate plugin. My heart rate plugin, our heart rate plugin. Keys music, some relaxing BGM. I was able to finally publish this yesterday, I think. Days are kind of blurring together. So I think it was yesterday, and I got a bit more of a response than I was expecting. The tweet is, as they say, doing numbers, and I'm happy to see that people think it's interesting. I wish I had done a clearer job demonstrating the features in the video, but that's what the update video is for, I guess, because I already have features in mind for the V2 that I'm going to release. Yes, thank you, Denji. I could not have reached the audience I reached without your blessing, so I truly do owe a lot of it to you. The tweet as it stands right now, I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about how the sausage was made and do some number talking. The tweet has reached, where's the number of impressions? I'm also gonna bring this up just because I thought it was a good window into like conversion rates on engagement versus adoption. So the tweet with the video has, according to Twitter, been engaged with 42,840 times. The video has been viewed 9,000 times, and on my creator dashboard here, according to itch.io, the actual page with the plugin has been viewed 157 times and downloaded 21 times. So that's a, I can't do the math off the top of my head, but that's 40,000 people saw the tweet, and 21 of them stuck with it. So that's not an amazing conversion rate, but I think that's about what you'd expect for this kind of thing. But hey, I mean, it's free, so I'm not like looking to make money off of this or anything. If people don't want to engage, so be it. I will try harder to make it more appealing next time. Also, I'm guessing just like a large number of people don't already have a heart rate monitor, so that's already a big wall for adoption. But that's, I guess, yeah, that's how I'm doing right now. It's really nice seeing everybody engage with the tweet, though. Every time it gets a like or a retweet, I check out the profile of the person who did it, because I'm interested. There are so many VTubers out there. Like, it's a really sobering reminder every time I release something or talk about this stuff, just how vast the ecosystem is. I think I said this on Twitter earlier. It's really cool. Like, I'm in a small bubble, and then there's, like, the corporate bubble that I watch, and, you know, all of my immediate indie friends, and then in the whole ocean, there are just so many people I did not know existed doing their own, you know, unique niche thing, and it's great. I'm really glad that people are able to express themselves in this way, thanks to 2D, being a 2D avatar. What's up? Soon me, as soon as I figure out a channel name. Good luck! Yeah, so, Denshi, I'm glad you're able to join us. I enjoy it being 2 a.m. where you are right now. I do not know why you're awake, but you seem to be. I just finished updating my library to accommodate the NDI and expression function updates that you put into the beta branch, which is what I'm going to be building on today. Because even though we just shipped this yesterday, I already have features in mind for V2. I should get like a sticky note app that I could put on my stream overlay. I think that'd be useful. So the first feature that I've got on my to-do list here is something I wanted to do for V1, but I did not have time, and also VTube Studio did not support it by the time I was ready to ship, which is having it so, I will fire this app up. It's gonna connect to VTube Studio, there we go. As one of the outputs here, I want, in addition to just art mesh tints, I want a little widget here that's like, input a threshold, like say 95 BPM, and then we'll have a little drop down that lists an expression, and I guess probably a toggle, like a checkbox. And so when your heart rate goes from like a rising edge on from lower than that heart rate to higher than that heart rate, it will trigger that emotion or expression. So for example, if you've got an expression like I do, such as, let me find it, this one, where smoke starts coming out of your ears, you can have that toggle on when you get up to like 110 BPM. That's something I want to do. In the demo videos using Akagi, I think is her name. I think? Yeah, I can't remember. But using Denshi's OC, who comes shipped with VTube Studio, I kept manually triggering like a 1,000-yard stare, dead eyes emote when I cranked the heart rate all the way up to maximum. Akari, sorry. Akari. I kept manually triggering the dead eyes emote because I thought it looked funny when you're like super flushed in the face and breathing really hard. But with what I want to do today, I can make that happen automatically. So that's the plan. Let me go ahead and reset that. So I'm not actually angry. Oh, and another thing I wanted to add, because I learned that you can do this, I thought that there was a smaller limit on the... Oh, interesting. It shouldn't be doing that. That's a problem. I have to fix my regex for this. It shouldn't be cutting out the underscores for these. I think I forgot to put that change in the main VTube Studio branch, but that's fine. Or the VTS Sharp branch, because underscores are a valid character for this. I wanted to add a fourth tracking parameter that is, instead of being like a lerp from 0 to 1, is literally just your BPM, because I learned that you can have parameters go from like negative 10,000 to 10,000. After I read the wiki again today, the VTube Studio wiki. So I think it would be maybe useful to have a parameter that's literally just your actual BPM. I don't know what you could use it for, but I've seen people put shit like clocks and other numeric printout devices in Live 2D for some reason or another, so I figured maybe they could do something like that with it. That's what I've got on the docket today. And then if I somehow find myself with a wealth of time, I've got a couple of requests to link to wikis and like support tickets for Pulsoid if people have trouble setting that up, and I could finally import my localization library because I would like to get this app translated to Japanese at some point, because a surprisingly large number of people who follow me for VTuber content are Japanese speakers, even though I can't communicate with them effectively. So I would like to make this more accessible, broadly speaking. Okay, so let's turn that off. Let me go back to my hotkeys. That works still, right? Okay. So... Actually, First thing would be to make it, yeah, paint pick. I've got a great library for localization. The hardest part is just finding somebody who wants to translate technical type jargon like this. I know quite a few folks who can do Japanese to English, but the other way around, English to Japanese, is a different beast altogether. Alright, so let's fire this up. Let's make a new prefab here. Content. Color module. New color selection. Create empty. No, wait, no, I want a game object. Create. UI. This is when Denshi starts aggressively backseating me for suboptimal Unity workflow, not using hotkeys properly. That's what I'd expect. Oh yeah, speaking of, while you're here, Denshi, I mean, I mentioned it in the Discord so you know, but I did catch your interview the other day. It was quite good. I did not realize until that interview that you had fully stopped being a corporate wage slave, so to speak, and we're doing this full time, and I'm really happy for you. I think it's cool that you can afford to do so, even given that the monetization model for VTube Studio is, I think, extremely generous, where it's like a one-time fee. I guess it's going to go in here. It's not a color input module, but actually I could just make a new folder. Folder expression module. Boom. Go. Who that is? Gomon Mikado. Welcome to the Skeleton Crew. As they say, if it does not read, rest in peace on your tombstone, you get drafted into the Skeleton War. So your voluntary conscription has saved some poor draftee. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you're late to the party, which, I mean, there's no real way to be late to this kind of thing, I am working on a VTube Studio plugin right now, so I'm cracking open Unity, gonna do some C# writing. That's my whole plan for this evening. That's awesome. That's really cool. I'm, like, thrilled for you, Denshi. I mean, I've mentioned this to you in private before, too, but, like, I cannot imagine the joy that you feel seeing your, people adopt your software and being able to come to life with this kind of thing. Alright, how does this work? This is going to be a vertical layout group and a content size fitter. Like so. Vertical fit's going to be minimum size. That's fine. Spacing is 10. 10. It's pretty pog, isn't it? That's the thing. Okay, so this is going to be the gray color that I use. Like that. What else do I want in here? I'm so happy. This is like old news now, but I'm also really happy that Unity finally has nested prefabs, because I can do stuff like this. Never mind. I fucking hate it here. Why doesn't this work? Sir? Why doesn't this work? Oh, actually, never mind. That's correct. This is 350 in width? Yeah, there we go. I have to manually set those. First time watching a stream, looking forward to learning. Yeah, I hope I can teach you something. I don't know that I'll be particularly educational here, but if you've got questions, or if I'm going too fast, or there's a topic you want to know more about, feel free to pick my brain. I mostly just do this so I can set aside time to guarantee get work done every week, and I think it's kind of nice to show how the sausage gets made, a little bit. But, like, by no means take my practices or habits or style as the gospel of, or like the right way to do things. I am a professional software engineer by day, but for this stuff I take shortcuts and I very much fall into my own habits. Okay, so this is going to be module, like that. So we've got, this is going to need a drop down for the list of all the expressions that you can choose from. It's going to need an input field for your heart rate and a checkbox that's like activate or deactivate. So let's see, what would be the best way? The drop down should go on the bottom, so it doesn't overlap the other buttons. So we're gonna do, let's see. Do I have another element here that I can use? Title panel, toggle, toggle. I don't think this is the right kind of toggle. I guess it'll work though. This is actually fine. So this is gonna go down here. Label. Right, I think that makes sense, right? To say activate question mark for a Boolean. Maybe that's not terribly clear. I'm not sure. I think this is going to want to be another nested object here, because we're going to have this go here. Oh no. Height 30? Sometimes I hate how Unity does this stuff. This is going to have a horizontal layout group, spacing of 10. And we're going to look for, I need an input field, which I have elsewhere. Let's crack open a color input module. Is this what I'm looking for? Oh, that is what I'm looking for, awesome. Let's get these nice and uniform. And I've lost my prefab. Unity UI do be whack. I'm getting better at it. I like redid the entire way this was set up because I was getting really frustrated having to manually fidget with stuff by hand. And I have like a better idea of how this stuff is meant to work together. It's not intuitive, but I understand it now, I think. Let's see, go back to scene. So let's see, I need a color input like so. And then this is going to be height 30. And it's going to go in the front. And this is going to have a larger label. This is going to read size 12. I think that's what I want. Why is it floating at the top? Why? Height 30. I don't have it set to float or anything. Threshold. We're going to need this to be way wider, but that's fine. Width is going to be like 200. I don't need the input field to be quite so large. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Height is 30. We can probably set the text to not be quite as lopsided as the original. Actually, I can just unpack this, frankly. This is unpack prefab completely. Does not need to actually be referencing the original in this case. Input field 0.5 to 1. Text is like that. Boom. Why is it floating though? That part I don't understand. Because it's set to... It's set to be in the center. And there's not like a floating... Oh wait, there is a floating. Okay, my bad. There's a enter under it. That makes sense. Okay. I guess apply that like so. And then in the spacing here, I guess on the right, I'll apply a spacing of 10 manually. I guess that's kind of backwards, though. I don't know if this is like... I have no idea if they improved since a couple of years ago. The layout component documentation is sparse. I mean, who reads the documentation for Unity? You kind of just need to figure it out yourself, right? As bad of an answer as that is. That's typically how it goes. Okay, this is size 14. How does this look? I don't think I like that. I don't think I like how this looks. But that's fine. We can modify the form later. Let's get we need the functionality here first, and we're gonna do elements. Do I have a drop down? Pop up, title, toggle, tooltip button. No, but I know where to get one. Okay. We're gonna go to our settings, and we have a port settings over here. And here's a great drop down that I've made. So that's just gonna go straight into elements. There we go. Perfect. So now we can open up our modules, prefab again, expressions, and we will do another game object UI panel, like so. This is going to have height of 30 as well. UI text goes in here. This is going to be... Maybe it's redundant to have text, actually. I'm not sure. Might want to look into Text Mesh Pro eventually, especially with localization coming up. People recommend that, and I mean, it's like the Unity built-in now. I don't understand what it does differently, or how it would help me in the case of localization. As I mentioned, I wrote my own localization library where I can basically pull stuff out of a CSV, so I can have everything in a giant spreadsheet and pass that around to get it localized. And I'm not sure what Text Mesh Pro would do for me in that case, but maybe. And then, okay, so we've got that. And then should that be side by side? I don't know. I know you can animate it. I don't really care about that. Like, people are not supposed to be looking at this. It just needs to be a really functional UI. Different character. Oh, you can do, like, different fonts per language? That makes sense. I think I could do that as is, though. Like, I could easily add that to my localization library. Unless hot swapping fonts is very expensive in Unity. I don't know if it is, but it shouldn't be hard to do. It's just like a singleton that has a CSV it reads from. Every time I made like a script that's like localized text or whatever, you pop it on here and it like gets a key, and then when it activates in the scene, it registers itself with the singleton. So when you change the language on the singleton, it does a pub sub type thing to all of its little subscribers. They change their key and then change their text accordingly. I could also have them change their font accordingly if that was something I needed to do. Not a bad idea though. What was I doing here? This is going to be an element, drop down in panel. This also needs a horizontal layout group. Spacing of 10. Wow, that's an ugly UI, but that's okay. Drop down. Probably want this one to be really... Actually, what am I doing? For this one, trying not to get too far in the weeds for getting particular about appearance first. I think I want it to be like that, and this is going to be a width 30, like that. It takes up the whole thing, because the expression file names I think are going to be long. So I'll figure out what I want to do for the middle here. Who that is? Renpoa! Or Renpona, sorry. I always forget the second N. Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. How was your stream? I don't know what you were streaming today. I'm gonna guess development work, but I don't have a shout-out bot because I'm a Luddite. So just tell me about your stream. For folks who don't know, Renpona is also a techie-type VTuber. They're working on a bunch of really cool VTube Studio plugins as well. The last I saw, they were making one where they could juggle with it. Like, they had a physics simulation running in VTube Studio, which is pretty cool. Tell me about your stream, dude. I want to know. Alright, label. That. Mindustry, or Mindustry. Factory game with the tower defense spin. Okay, so it wasn't developmental stuff. I thought it was. Why did that not take? What the fuck? Oh, wait, I remember now. It's because these things have default options. So this is going to have no default options. Get out of here. think I can do... Thought. Like so. Dev streams on Friday, game streams on Saturday. I see, I see. You can just be like me and... Oh, okay, no, never mind. It just doesn't want to label. That's fine. We'll live with that for now. This is very ugly, but we'll get there. So now I need to actually make a script and do some programming 30 minutes into my programming stream here. Yeah, you could be like me and never play video games, though. That's what they say. All work and no play makes Tom a dull boy. Where does this go? Core? No. UI? Modules? Yeah, okay. Folder. Expressions. Is it gonna be... What? You don't know how to bake an awesome pizza? Well, then you'll have to stop by and, like... Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, and I'll probably teach you again. Please give bot for shoutouts. I'll do that, I think, probably tomorrow afternoon. Today I was updating my library so I could actually do stuff with it here on stream today. But I think tomorrow I will get the shoutout bot finally. Just in time for the programming. Yep. I also have no idea how long it takes for like go live notifications to get pushed to people. So I'm always hesitant to get too into it right away. Let's see. Okay, so here I'm gonna first use Unity UI, because we're gonna have references to a lot of UI elements. We've got serialized field, private, input field, input, threshold. No. Oh, I gotta show VS Code. I'm programming, I swear. Unity engine.ui. There we go. Get them within a minute on my phone. 10 minutes per mail. Wait, like the German postal service is that good that they send you a Twitch go live notification in the dead of night, 2 a.m. But they're like, no, you gotta know. Or are you meaning to tell me you get emails for every time somebody you follow on Twitch goes live, which would just be nutty to me, but I follow a lot of people on Twitch, I guess. Cool, alright, this is good anecdotal data, I'll keep this in mind. So clearly, Renpona, the winning gambit here is to sit on my load screen for literally 15 minutes, and this will definitely be appealing to viewers, and I'll catch the most flies this way. That sounds like the plan. Okay, this is not what I meant. Input field, that's what I wanted. Private toggle activate equals null. Serialized field private drop down. All right, cool. So how did I do this for colors? Because I want to follow a similar pattern, and I think it was a pub sub method for the color input module here as well. I clicked the bell icon on your Twitter. I know, it's because you need to keep me in check, Bon, to make sure I'm not being too much of a reply guy. Like, that's what it's all about. Okay. Do I have a pub sub thing here? There must be. Oh, wait, no, it's because the plugin, when it creates one of these, because I've got a button for it, that's how it gets them registered. Because you can have, like, a list of all these ones, and then when you, in the main plugin here, it does like a loop somewhere here. Yeah, it's like for each color input module in colors, it does a request to do a tint for that color, for those matchers, etc., etc. So I also need to have a list of expression modules, and it's going to check the heart rate, basically. So we'll get there when we get there. First thing we need to do is be able to populate this drop down with some information. Okay, so what do we want to do? I think it's going to be like void on enable. Actually, what we need to do first, I think, is, don't look at this hideous math. This is unreadable code. This needs to change. This is like an abomination. I need to add a section here. Where do we get input parameters? I got some. There's something in here that makes a dictionary. Oh, okay, it's here. I want to. Actually, does it even need to be a dictionary? No, it doesn't. I don't think. Colors. New header here. Expressions. Private. List. String. Watch me just make garbage for garbage collection to deal with. String. Expressions. Optimization be damned. What I want to do is in my update loop here. Let's connect. Where's update? We do some stuff. Do that. Interpolation. If this is authenticated. Alright, so we're gonna do get expression state list. Yeah, I just added that today, brand new on the VTS Sharp API. Because Denshi just added this like 3 days ago, I think, based on somebody else's request. So we're gonna do S evaluates 2 like that, and then error. So be it. I don't think we actually care if there's an error. Maybe I'll have it like debug log error. I gotta also, in my roadmap for this, have a better logging system than just relying on the default player log, because that shit gets wiped out very frequently. New expression stuff is nice. I updated my older plugins used yesterday. Yeah, like it seems, it just makes sense, frankly. It's very intuitive that it should be able to do that, so I'm glad it finally can. This is gonna be data message. And so on success, what we're gonna do is this expressions equals new list. Check this out. Actually, wait, no, it shouldn't be a list. There's no reason for it to be a list. I can just write the array straight. Yeah, this hold on. This can just be string like that. Me optimizing prematurely. I was able to tear out a whole bunch of unreliable state management stuff I'd put in just to keep track of whether expression was on or off. Yeah, now you don't need to worry. There's also a method in there for just setting the state of the expression, and as far as I can tell, it seems to work. Like if you try and turn it on multiple times, it will be on. It's not a toggle. You can just say yes, I want this to be on, or no, I want this to be off, which is pretty good. That's a separate method, which is intuitive. Having it be a toggle is, I guess, functionally makes sense, but from a programmatical perspective, kind of weird. Okay, so we've got our expressions. s.data.expression file expressions. Oh, nope, that's not how that works. Never mind. We're going back to this having this be a list because I like to use the add method. Because I'm a bad programmer who was raised on Java. List. I don't feel like figuring out the index length or anything like that. It's new. Where the fuck was I? This dot expressions. We're gonna do this dot expressions dot clear. For each expression data expression in s.data.expressions. C# has that stuff for a reason. Use it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, I have been trained as an enterprise developer to look for these, like, micro-optimizations before I write bad code, but this is operating on a set of, like, 20 items, as opposed to, like, 2 million, like I maybe would have to deal with at work. So, I really don't care. Are you not familiar with you? I kind of just assumed you were. I feel like most people I know, but again, my circle is very small. The people I, like, came out of college with all know Unity, and, like, a bunch of the people I met shortly after college all know Unity, so I kind of just assumed if, like, you're a techie type and you like messing around with stuff, Unity is your, like, C# running engine of choice. I use it for everything, even if it's not a game, because it's just an engine that lets you program a UI relatively easily that can run C#. So, like, this plugin, for example, is not a game in any way. It's just a web interface, or not a web interface, it's just an interface. But it works. Okay, this dot expressions. We want to do expression dot file, like so. I think that's what you want. My wonderful narrator. Well, so I'll write like 4 lines of code and talk for 45 minutes is kind of my problem. I'm not terribly productive on these streams, but I don't necessarily know if that's the point. I love Unity the same way I love using Windows. It doesn't always work great on its own, but you can dig into it and make it what you want pretty easily. Yeah, I mean, people say the same thing about Unreal. I'm just not a C++ kiddo. I'm very much coddled by object-oriented programming, and I think in object-oriented programming, and I dream in object-oriented programming, and I don't like thinking about memory management very much, except when I have to. My last big aspiration, actually this is before I became a VTuber, and like digitized my soul and put it on the internet. I was working on this AR app for Unity for mobile devices, and there I had to be very, very particular about marshalling memory properly, because doing like computer vision 60 frames per second on mobile is very expensive if you're not clever. So that like beat micro optimizations into my skull as well. Yeah, that was my kind of thing as well. I mostly made this a Unity app instead of a web app because I needed to dog food my own library, and it felt very shitty that I was like, hey, use this VTube Studio library I made in Unity. Does it work? Probably. Is it usable and intuitive? Probably. I've never built anything with it, so then I built something with it, which is this. And it's a proof of concept that it works good and is robust. Unreal C++ is very different from C++ development, many layers of abstraction. I think that's kind of true for Unity as well. I tried really hard to make my library for VTube Studio plugins as decoupled from Unity as possible, but ultimately, if you do want to run it in Unity, there are just some things you can't escape. Like, you have to use the update loop for like a lifecycle thing that needs to constantly keep happening. It's not advisable to just make it its own thread. Most Unity functions need to be called from Unity's main thread, so you have to like make sure that that's being called on the main thread. I have like a helper class that calls stuff and marshals callbacks onto the main thread, which if you were just making this a pure C# app would not compile and is useless. But I think the changes that you need to make if you know what you're doing, and I'm assuming if you're just a raw C# developer, you probably know what you're doing, and it could be pretty straightforward. I might add a section of the README that's like, if you want to decouple this from Unity 100%, here's what you gotta do. I would like to do that. I also feel obligated to, if I ever find a great technical writer who can do Japanese to, or English to Japanese, translate the docs for VTS into Japanese, because as it turns out, every person that I know who has made a plugin using my library is a Japanese speaker, and I don't know how they found my stuff or how they had a good time making stuff, because all of my documentation is in English. So more power to them. There's a dude who made like a clock and weather app. There's a lady who made an app to give herself heterochromia, like you can tint the eyes different colors, which is pretty cool. There's a fellow who made a plugin to control your puppet using a tablet pen. all of that was done with my library, which is pretty cool. And following Denshi's great wisdom, I've added a section to my README that lists all of their plugins that were made with it, because I think it's good to give people shoutouts and links to their stuff. So that's all fun and cool. Yeah, my biggest cop-out is, like, for the actual documentation portion of it, I'm like, this is pretty much just a one-to-one, like, object-oriented wrapper for VTube Studio's API. So if you want to know what a method does and what you can expect out of it, just go check out the official VTube Studio documentation, which is also just in English, but, like, not my problem, somebody else's problem. Alright, I've been staring at this for, like, 10 minutes now. Okay, so every frame, we're going to get our expression state list, we're clearing our list of expressions, and we're going to say our expression data is as follows. For each expression that we get back in our set of expression states, we add the file name to the list, and then I need to make a getter up here somewhere. This is going to be public list string. Oh, no, not. Sorry, it's a get return this expressions. In theory, somebody could mutate this. Like, you could remove an item from the list, I think, but I don't care because I'm rewriting it every frame. Can't be bothered to translate that. Well, if I ever find somebody who can do technical writing English to Japanese, I will send them your way as well. Though I assume that kind of labor does not come even remotely cheap, nor should it. Yeah, I think that's where it is, Ren, where the folks who really, like, are ambitious with this in the Japanese scene are already used to everything being English, as shitty as that is, and they just are able to tank through it because they're absolute beasts at their craft. I think that's pretty much what it boils down to. Okay, so I have an accessor to get expressions, then we can go back to over here. We're going to say on enable, list string expressions, heart rate manager, what is it? Heart rate manager dot instance dot plugin dot expressions, like so. That's the power of singletons right there. Okay, so then we're going to say we're going to make an option in our dropdown for each one of these. Getting too deep into, oops, sorry, I punched my microphone. Getting too deep into 3D stuff is the opposite problem, where the VMC protocol doc was Japanese only until a few days ago. I think I'm familiar with that model protocol. It's like lets you specify meshes as JSON, right? I'm pretty sure. And then you can like synthesize it back in Unity or in another engine of your choice, right? You like get like a JSON full of like vertices, I think. Or am I thinking of a different modeling 3D protocol? More or less, yeah. I think that's neat. I think that's a really cool way to do art in a digital age, because it would let you store and transfer 3D information between users as a binary. I'm sorry, not as a binary, as a text file. About that stuff when I was thinking of doing a 3D model instead of 2D. Wow, it was heavy. Yeah. I feel like the heart and soul of VTubing is always going to be live 2D stuff, because I feel like that's really where the artisanal charm of it all comes from. Like, don't get me wrong, there are amazing 3D models out there, and I'm not saying one is better than the other, but I do feel like the lavish attempts to make a 2D thing look like a 3D thing without it actually being 3D is like the soul of the art, where you're like giving it your all to really like fool with perspective, and you can make things look like hand-drawn from all angles, like an anime, like a 2D animation. You can mess with perspective, and it doesn't have to be internally consistent with itself or on model, because you can make things like exaggerated at different angles and things like that. 2D art is much more accessible in general. I do love when cursed VTubers come out. Yeah, there's this dude Shindigs on Twitter who makes cursed VTubers all the time. Alright. what am I doing today? Okay, so yeah, we've got that, and then we're gonna do this dot drop down dot clear. Yep. Oh wait, no, we probably don't want to do. Wait, hold on. Wait, yes, that's fine. Private string. That's what we want to do. Because if I'm clearing this, basically what's going to happen is every time you refresh this window, or if I add like a refresh button, it's going to clear out all the options that it has and get a new list of expressions that you could possibly select from. And what I don't want to have happen is it to wipe this every time you come back to it, because that's useless then. But what I do want is that if you like change your model, you should be able to refresh this in some way and get the new list of expressions without having to reboot the app, obviously. So I need to store what the selected one was, so that when we do this refresh, if the selected emotion is still on the list, after we make our new options, we just select that. So we're going to do... and I did that earlier, here. Support I, yeah, that makes sense. How did I actually do this? Refresh ports. Ah, okay. I'm actually going to copy this whole cell, because this is pretty much exactly what I want to do. Except this isn't in on enable, but we'll make do. So current index is our drop-down value. Instead of that, it's going to be just string expressions equals live 2D, and I want to expand its frontiers, but I also want to work with 3D as well for all the live 2D stuff. Absolutely can't conceivably do. Yeah, I'm sitting here bumbling and being like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I do not have a single artistic bone in my body. I'm not a visual thinker in the slightest. I have a very hard time imagining color. Like when I think about things, if I can't get a picture, I usually don't get it with like color or design in mind at all. So I'm just like, haha, yeah, push the boundaries of live 2D and do stuff in 3D. I have no capability to surface myself in that front. What am I doing here? Plugin.expressions. So everybody who's like a pink text equals good, red text equals bad. Yeah, something like that. Welcome aboard, Nana. Okay, so we don't need to... I guess I can sort this. There's no real reason to, I guess, but I can sort that. This dot... don't think I need that. Oh, wait, because that was like a list of strings. Add options. This dot... or this is just expressions. I don't need to store that. I think that'll work. Maybe. I need to remember to save this. Also. It's important information. By making stuff interactive enough that no one will hopefully care. That's a good way to live. Okay, so on enable, do all of this. We get our list of expressions, which are updated every frame. I think I want to have that just be a manual refresh instead of like spamming VTube Studio with that so much. We sort them, clear our options, add each one as an option in the dropdown, refresh the shown value, and we set the value without notifying, which means it doesn't trigger the on value change. And we say, give me either whichever's smaller, the current index or the last one on the list. Making the stuff I draw interactive is what got me interested in live 2D in the first place. Yeah, you said in your interview. I think that's neat. I simply think that's neat. Artists are the strongest people on Earth. Okay, we've got that all here. What happens if I add this now to add the script to expression We go to drop down, toggle. Right now nothing does anything except the drop down, and even that doesn't really do anything. And we have our input. I'm going to make this look better at some point. Probably not on stream. I'm just going to get this to be functional on stream. Fidgeting with, like, UI placement is not content. Yeah, I feel like, Bon, you and Denshi have a lot in common in that you were both, like, corporate engineers and got into live 2D as a way of, like, furthering 2D art. I feel like you have a lot in common. By the way, Denshi, Bon is also a VTuber. She's like a tortoise-type VTuber. Also a VTube Studio user. She does Gunpla building, which is fun. She does like hand cam stuff and builds models. But she's also a software engineer, just like me. I don't think I've ever introduced you to, because you're not typically here. Yeah. Yeah. As you've probably seen if you've seen me tweet or retweet, we have a pet tortoise here who is a big motivator in everything we do. It's good. But yeah, VTube Studio has like been great in enabling her to do 2D art in a creative and fun way. Okay, let's see. So now if I go to here, let's add one of these modules. Expressions. No, I need not scripts. Prefabs. Modules. Expression. There we go. Just assume that that is fine to have. If I run this, what the fuck happens? Go to inputs. Go to outputs. Well, that works. That's cool. That's... Oh, wait. I should probably hide VS Code. That works. My drop-down properly populates. I'm going to select glasses. Oh, wait. I got a null pointer exception. Doesn't work. What's my issue here? Index was out of range, must be non-negative and less than the size of the collection. Okay. Didn't think there was an issue here, but sure. I wonder what it's trying to do. Huh? Oh! Oops. I see. The drop-down prefab over here still has the port selector script added to it, which I don't need. I should remove it from the prefab, but I'll do that later. I don't want to mess with the actual port selector. That was fun when I got UDP working. I felt like a genius. I've never done anything with UDP before. Okay, so here we go. We've got our thing. I'm going to select glasses. I'm going to go back to inputs. When I go back to outputs, glasses is still selected. Awesome. Awesome. That works. Doesn't do anything yet, but it is populated properly, which is the first step towards doing something. So we've got all of our available expressions. Denshi, if I recall correctly, you said you have to use file names for this because you could name on like the front end two expressions the same thing, even if they have different file names. Like the file name is the most unique. Is that right? Just trying to think if I should present it this way or not. I think this is the way that makes the most sense. Okay. Cool. That makes sense. Okay. So now, what can I do? We're going to have public bool should activate. Oh, I will never get good at remembering to switch between Unity and VTube's VS Code. Too many things with the same letters. Everything starts with V. We live in the virtual age. Visual Studio, VTube Studio, VTS Sharp, VTS Heart Rate. Everything's the same. Nice frog pog, by the way. What is that? What is that actually called? Lily Ho Pog. I don't know who this is from, but that's awesome. You have so many emotes. You're so powerful. Me over here doesn't even have affiliate, has not activated it yet because I'm too lazy, and feel like I need to do like a big production for it. I think I'll probably try and get that done in February, like around my birthday. I think that's my plan now. Sure. I want the shares a pizza emote very badly, but it sucks, right? Because like my only motivation for enabling affiliate is I really want channel points because I think that's fun as hell to have. Like I want to enable the plugin so people can throw shit at my head, frankly. It's the best plugin that's been made to date, and I'm not going to mince words about it. And I want to enable that. Exactly, right? But I don't want people to spend like $5 and give $250 of it to Jeff Bezos. He doesn't need it. I frankly don't really need the other $250. As I mentioned at the top of the stream, I do have like a computer toucher day job that pays me too well. So I'm not looking for money here. I just want channel points. But people are gonna sub regardless, and I'm gonna have to feel bad about taking money. So I don't know. It's like a lose-lose, but I want those channel points real bad. It's true, but who, like, people come to expect the channel points. Sure, you can do it the old-fashioned way, but nobody's gonna. Maybe. I don't know. I'll definitely give it a test run with chat commands first, I think, because, like, I would have to. But I think on the whole, people don't really use chat commands. Maybe? I don't know. Again, this is maybe a case of me being a small fish in a small pond where, like, in my immediate circle, everybody's got channel points going. But maybe overall Twitch users are more savvy than I think. This activate value? Toggle? The fuck is it called? Is on. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, right. Turn. There we go. So we have a accessor that just gets the status of the toggle, and we're gonna do public int threshold. That's gonna be get turn int dot try parse. Wait. I'm gonna do bad. Int dot parse. That's gonna be this dot threshold dot value dot value. What is it called? Better not be text. Input type interactable. What is the value called? Read only. Oh, it is text. Okay, whatever. This will need. This is a to do. This is like. This is a bad. Because if somebody inputs like normal ass text in here, this is gonna throw an exception, which is not what we want to do. Yeah, chat commands are hard to know exists. Okay, so we've got an accessor to get the threshold, and we check if it should activate, and then we need to public string expression get. It's gonna be return this dot drop down dot value. That's an int. How do I get? Oh, that's why. Okay, that's why I was. Hold on. There is a reason that I need to store this, like a member expression here. Equals new list, because I need to do this dot expressions like that. So we need to like so. There we go. Okay. So that gets the string name of the expression that we've selected. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. We've got our colors, expressions. So we're going to need a list of private. There's going to be a serialized field. Private. List. Expression module. Cool. And for the sake of testing, I'm going to manually patch something into here. But let's see, what is our code in our update loop going to be here? Expression state list. Cool. I can collapse that. We're going to have something very similar to this. It's going to be for each expression input module in this dot. I need to name these better because I named the other one colors and this is now expression modules. So what we're going to do is we also need to keep track of our last heart rate. So that's just going to become a private value. Oh, we do keep track of that. Hold on. That is an instance variable. So I can make this a local variable, float, or I think I can do that. So we have our prior heart rate, and then we immediately update it. That's well and good. So we're going to say if prior heart rate is less than, or it's going to be, okay, so if we, yeah, if it's, what I want to do here is if the heart rate goes from being lower than to higher than the threshold value we have, we want to do the activate or deactivate, but it also needs to go the other way. If the previous one was higher and now it's lower, I want to deactivate it, I think. Hold on. So it's going to be if module.active should activate if prior heart rate. There's probably a way I can make this a ternary. Most of my time spent programming is thinking about how I can make things into ternaries. I really like ternaries for no good reason. They lead to unreadable code, and they're probably bad because they make me think about hyper-optimization when it's not necessary. But I am who I am. I can't help it. I'm a broken individual. Why do I have 11 Twitter notifications? What the fuck happened? I'll figure this out later. Somebody just tweeted nice jawline at me. Who are you? I gotta not look at Twitter while I'm streaming, but my phone is blowing up. Why do I have so many notifications? Cat called? Yeah. Twitter user @MelodyMuse. Thank you for complimenting my jawline. I appreciate it. I will respond to you on Twitter in a timely fashion. Cool. Okay. Let me not think about that for a little bit. Back to I just got completely sidetracked. Okay. So yeah. So if we're gonna activate this, if the prior heart rate was less than module.threshold, and this heart rate is now greater than or equal to module.thresh. So this is like a rising edge situation. She's not wrong, I know. So it's really great when I do collabs, because I think in a vacuum, my model looks totally fine. Like, it makes sense. But when I am next to another, like, humanoid character that is normally proportioned, like Bond, for example, my skull is so fucking big. It's just comical. I guess you forget how much the flesh adds as to like weight, but has to hold your big brain. I wish. Okay, so this is a rising edge. If the prior heart rate's less than the module threshold and the new one is greater than or equal to, we are going to do hold on. State is true. Else if wait, this is another case where I'm like, ternaries, right? Okay, so is there any condition that is not, or is this just an else? No, because if the heart rate stays the same, that's the final else. No, hold on, actually. I was trying to get cute. I don't think I can here. We're gonna do set expression state, yeah. And it's gonna be module dot expression. Is that not public? What I do here? Selected expression. True. And then I actually don't care about doing anything on the callbacks here. I should probably just make these nullable, and because I always do this where I just have these empty. But which like wastes a valuable cycle as it processes an empty lambda function. But whatever. Okay, so the other case is if prior heart rate is greater than or equal to the threshold and the current heart rate is less than the threshold. So if it goes back down, we flip this. I'll figure out how to abstract this into a better false. Oh. There we go. Right? Huh? There we go. Okay. I wanted to be cute and just have like the boolean out here and then call this once at the end, but there is a third condition here where the heart rate doesn't change at all, and I don't want to be calling this function there, so there's probably a way I can make this more elegant, but let's see if this works. So what this should do is for each module in our list, which right now is going to be one module, if it's set to yes, we want to activate it, we're going to check if we went from being lower to higher than, and in that case we activate the expression, and if we go back the other way, we turn it off. I need to figure out an intuitive way to explain that as the process to the user, but we'll get there. Baby steps. So we've got our managers, plugin manager, expression modules. We just have the one. I'm going to manually add this for now, though in the way I've got data loading and like serialization working, when these get loaded in from the save file, or when you add one with like the create button, that's how these will get populated normally. But for testing, I'm going to go ahead and manually pop that in. So let's see if this works. Outputs. I'm not sure why. This should be throwing a null pointer because this is empty. 85. Activate. And my current heart rate is 99. So that's no good. That doesn't seem to be working. Go to our test slider. Bring this way down. Okay, it's not working. Doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? I'm not sure. Hey, Fuba, welcome. You're not that late. I've been at it for about an hour. Nothing terribly exciting. Okay, so why doesn't it work? It should work. Time to do the tried and true. Module should activate. Is this happening at all? I guess is my question. I could put debugs into these callbacks. Wait. Huh? Oh, wait, it did work? I thought I had it set to angry. I'm a genius and I didn't even know it. I got it to work on my first try. I just didn't set my... Alright, so we go here. We need to set this to 85. Activate. I forgot to set an expression. Yeah, so this is why like I need a refresh button. I thought I had selected angry here. I thought that was the default. Angry exp 3 JSON. Yeah. And then I go to inputs. It is making me cry. So something's not working. You can see that working. Why, though? That's very interesting to me. It's like if I select blush... No, it's probably not that. I would be surprised if it was that. Because that's my angry. Oh, there we go. I'm messing around with the slider here. No, it's not. I'm just supposed to be angry. Actually, the one I selected here is blush flowers. So it seems like maybe I'm off by one somehow? Maybe? Because sad tears is the, like, wraparound here. If I select sad trails, what happens? Nothing. Nothing! Alright. I could crack open VTube Studio here. And we could take a quick look. I don't remember how to set this stuff up, though. It's, these. Okay, this... No, they're definitely named right. Blush Flowers is... I use this one all the time, and it's bound to the A-OK. So they're named right. I'm calling them wrong somehow. In, that doesn't come across on the stream very well, but... Yeah, you didn't misname them. You're fine. So I'm calling the wrong one somehow. So we go back to here. This dot drop down dot value. I mean, I guess all I can do here is... see if this is just out of mismatch with what's showing up on the UI. I think. Outputs. 85, activate. Angry. Inputs. Yes, okay. There is a mismatch between what's showing up on the UI for the dropdown and what it's actually sending forward. It's thinking that it's activating sad trails right now, but it's not. It's activating a different one. It's, or no, yeah, it is, sorry. It's activating sad trails. On the UI though, I have selected angry, so I don't know where the disconnect here is. Sad trails is, wait, so if I do blush flowers, and I do this again, It does angry. What's the pattern here? I'm off by 1 somehow. I'm off by 1 somehow. Because Sad Trails is the last one, which would wrap around to angry. Blush Flowers is picking angry. If I select Cardigan here, it's going to do blush. Yep, there we go. Something, I'm off by 1. It's an off by 1 exception. Or not exception, but a problem, but I don't know why. I don't... Are, like, the drop-downs in Unity 1 indexed or something? That would fucking suck. Hold on, it's time to... Oh, golly. Hold on. Do I have... We're gonna go read the Unity docs together. Actually, I'm just gonna Google. I'm gonna Stack Overflow this. You don't need to see this. Unity drop-down index. It says, oh wait, no, okay, it says 0 is the first option in the drop-down, 1 is the second, and so on. So why is it off by 1? Why is it off by 1? We're setting the value without notify. I'm fucking lost here, gang. Does anybody have a big brain idea? I gotta think on this one. Donk. Yeah, I need a thinking emoji also. Another good, compelling reason to get affiliate, so I can get multiple emoji slots. Oops. No. Okay, so, walking through the code again. We get our current index, which should just be what we currently have selected. We get our expressions from the list. We store them. We sort the list of expressions. We clear our options. We add the options. Why are we sorting? I don't know. I guess there's no reason to sort this. It's just to make sure they come back in the same order every time, I guess. Or that they're represented in the same order, because if VTube Studio gives them to me in a random order, and I'm just selecting based on index, it might change between refreshes. Is what I was thinking. It just gets them in a consistent order. Though... Actually, this is a stupid way to do it. Because if the new inserts... What happens if you don't... I'll try it without sorting. But if the new fields were in between the index that you selected and... yeah, this is a bad way to do this. It worked for the ports because those are sequential. What's it? Cabbage 363. Welcome to the Skeleton crew. As they say, if it does not read "Rest in peace" on your tombstone, you get drafted into the Skeleton War. So your voluntary conscription here has saved some poor drafty. Thank you for stopping by. I agree, probably should, but enterprise engineering has taught me to assume that all data servers are hostile and that they will never protect you or give you information in the way you expect. So it comes down to you to do the sorting and data validation on your own. Surely you can understand that, I hope. Even if it's supposed to. I can't trust that it will. Because what if it doesn't? I'm going to try without sorting and see what happens, though. E5. Oh yeah, that's definitely what it is. Because if I don't sort, Sad Trails is the first one on the list. That's definitely what it was. It was looking at like an unsorted list when it was selecting. There we go. Cool. Well, that works. Why doesn't, I guess it's an animation not an expression. The smoke coming out of my ears. Bon, do you know? Is that like separate? Or what's up? This is where me being completely illiterate in the art section of this. Cause like when I press my button on my Stream Deck here. Wait, hold on. I can get smoke to come out of my ears, which is one of my favorite emotions. Why does that not happen here? Is that a separate thing? That's not an expression? Is that like an animation or something? Okay. But I mean, my use case here should work for something like this. Can you explain a little bit how you set it up? I just don't know. Okay. This is just me being completely illiterate with Live 2D and not knowing what all these different things are. So this would be a good opportunity for me to learn. Because I would also think that I would want to be able to activate animations in addition to just expressions. So I'm not sure if that should be like a separate drop down here, or what. I'm not sure how that should look. But I guess we'll figure that out later. For now, I can be happy in that this seems to work. Yeah, it might just be set up strange, but I feel like I should be able to support it. Cool, that works. Which is controlled by an expression. Yeah, good thinking. What do I want to do now? At some point, I'll have this copy delete widget in here as well, I think. Yeah. That makes sense to me. Because you might want to copy this so you have the same threshold for a different expression, something like that. And obviously it needs a delete button. For now that works alright. Oh, one other thing I can do. Animations can't be triggered directly via the API right now. Ah! Somebody else's problem. That's for version 3 of this thing. Thank you, Denshi, for building in stage releases for me. I appreciate it. I'm glad that I can't do everything in the first pass. And because of that, I was actually able to ship this instead of just constantly thinking of new features to add. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. That works out great for me. I'll take it. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I wanted to add another live 2D tracking parameter. This guy. BPM. Like so. It's gonna be that parameter BPM. Because as I mentioned at the top of the stream, I was reading the documentation today and discovered that tracking parameters don't have to be like between -10 and 10. They can be much, much larger than that. So we're going to add another one of these guys. New parameter. Parameter BPM. This is going to be BPM. BPM. Parameter BPM. I don't know why I have this comment. Confirm param created with bool. I don't actually do that anymore. That's fine. And then we go in our update function here. We can do BPM dot value equals this dot rate. I'll add it tomorrow. No. Your rig was like the second time I touched live TD, so I should probably go back and say up your expressions properly. Ain't no thing. I mean, I don't stream enough, I don't think, to warrant you investing a lot of time into me. My body is serviceable for the deeds that I need to do. Consider it done. Denshi, no! You need to give me more time. When you put this in before I even shipped, like the expression stuff, I was like, no. It's too hard. I have to go back and fix it now. Okay, so the way I have this set up right now is I have, like, parameter objects stored at the member level here. And then I have a list that I don't need to flush every frame, which is actually very good for memory. And I just have a function where I create the parameter, and if it's deemed successful, if I get back a success message from VTube Studio, I add it to that list, which only happens at startup. I think. Oh, actually, wait. Wait, hold on. No, hold on. Just caught. If you reconnect to VTube Studio a bunch of times, it'll refill the list over and over and over again. This dot, because it'll try and recreate the parameters. This dot parameter map is new. Sorry, this dot parameter values equals new. Like so. How else are you gonna christen your pizzas when they come out of the oven? With my actual physical real-world hands, which is what I've been doing right now with the cooking stream. I've got an actual camera. You can see my actual hands in their glorious calcified state. Okay. Linear value plus value. Cool. Okay. So I think that's actually all I need to do. And then if I boot up Unity here, it should just propagate immediately. Because it's just reading from that parameter map. Outputs. Yeah, there we go. So I've got a parameter now that literally just corresponds directly to your actual perceived heart rate. I don't know what somebody might want to do with that, but it seems like a thing to have. I think. I need to add it to the tooltip also. And I also need to fix my regex so it stops stripping the underscores out of the parameter names. Yeah, so I don't know what somebody could do with that. Renpona, you were doing stuff with, like, clocks and things. I feel like this might be geared towards you, where you can get the literal, actual, like, BPM as a input value. Maybe you can do something cool with that. I don't know. The other ones are all between 0 and 1. Like, I've got one that's a sine wave that's kind of dampened for breathing. I've got one that's literally exactly on pulse with the beating of the heart. Like, it fluctuates in scale with this thing. And I've got one that just is where you are on your threshold here. I think that's everything somebody could need out of this in terms of a tracking parameter. I can't think of anything else that would be necessary here. I don't know what else you'd be tracking. So that's cool. That's good. I need to have a way to make these settable, and I need to be able to save information about these. Let's do the saving. Let me show the world how I handle serialization, I guess. Okay, so we're gonna come over here. And I'm gonna pretty much just copy this wholesale, even though this will not basically at all compile. System.serializable is my friend. Let's go. So basically every time I have a thing that needs to be saved, I rely on JSON because I think that's the only way to do it in Unity. And so I make like a save data class that's a child class of the thing that I want to save from. And in this case, what are we going to do? It's public string expression file. And they always have this override string, which is just the JSON wrapper. So we have our expression file, public int threshold, and we've got our public bool. like that. So then when we want to convert the state of our current thing to save data, we do the following. It's going to be data.threshold equals this dot threshold dot value dot text, and it's going to be, once again, I need to make this safer because this is no good. If somebody put in plain text, this would blow up again, but we'll get there when we get there. Data should activate is equal to... Oh wait, actually, hold on. No, I've getters for this. I don't need to do this again. This is this dot threshold, capital T. This dot should activate data. Expression file equals like that. Cool. So this will save this to a JSON, which is nice and handy. And conversely, we have from save data, which takes in one of these objects, and we figure out how we're going to set everything. So we do this dot threshold dot text equals who that is. Havoc DNP. Are you the Havoc that I think you are? Are you the one that I know? I'm going to assume yes. Welcome to the Skeleton Crew, by the way, pal. If you are. If you're not, then I'm going to look like a complete lunatic. It is, it's I me. Welcome aboard! I'll give you the thing I say every time somebody gives me the follow. They say if it does not read rest in peace on your tombstone, you get drafted into the Skeleton War. So, your voluntary conscription is saving some poor draftee. Thank you for coming aboard, I appreciate it. I'm doing one of my Saturday night programming streams because I'm a turbo nerd, and I'm building version 2 of the latest VTube Studio plugin that I published yesterday. That does not work here. You hold no power in this domain, Havoc. That does not work here. The Sigma grind said, don't say these words at me. I'll have to disbar you if you call me a Sigma one more time. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. How the fuck did you find out? Wait, yeah, actually, how did you find out I was streaming? Because I know you don't have a Twitter. And I don't mention this in the server, because that would be unprofessional. How did you know I was here? Bruh. You said you don't have a Twitter. Look in the right side. What? Right side of what? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, it shows up on Discord, doesn't it? Your status is purple. Ah, yeah, here's me shirking on my mod duties. I see. I got you. Now you're DMing me. Get out of here. Get out of my brain. What the fuck was I doing? Okay, yeah, I forgot that Discord will tattle on me when I'm streaming. That's cool. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, what am I doing here? Threshold text is data.threshold.toString. Should activate, this is going to be this dot... no. Activate dot toggle? Why can I never remember what this is called? Is on is equal to data dot should activate this dot expressions. So this is the tricky one, this last one, because if the expression doesn't exist, I should make a helper method for this. I gotta not use index for this, actually. Index is not a safe way to... Like, this is not how that needs to work. Private void... Get rid of this shit. And get rid of this shit. I don't need either of these. Private void, expression options, string, expression file. This is C#, which is like Java if it could learn from Java's mistakes. It's object-oriented. It's Microsoft's kind of take on Java. It's not very memory efficient, but it's very, very developer friendly because it's object oriented. But it came after Java, so it avoids some of the weird shortcomings that Java has. Not that I can name what those are off the top of my head. It's kind of like a Java 2.0. And it compiles to Unity because I'm building my little app here. You're like out of the loop, I'm assuming, because I have not mentioned this anywhere except Twitter. I'm building a plugin for VTube Studio that can read your heart rate data from like a heart rate sensor, and so it'll port that into VTube Studio so you can get like flushed. There's a parameter you can use to track your breath, so you can have like your model breathing very heavily. My plan is for having people use this for Ring Fit adventure streams, but my model itself does not have a breathing parameter, and I don't have skin nor blood, so this is completely useless for me, but I hope other people can use it. That's my hopes and plans. Most Saturday nights before I was working on this, though, I was working on the Discord, the Mildom bot on stream, but I wanted to get this out the door before New Year's, which I did. I shipped it, or not before, but shortly after. I shipped this yesterday, and I'm working on the next version already. I did mention it once? Damn, I talk about myself too much. I should do that less. I got some cool people engaging with the tweet, which is always fun. I think I posted a screenshot that was like, Nyanners liked this, and I was like, come on, Nyanners, give me the retweet. But it was not meant to be. That might have been the extent that I mentioned it. You might be doing good detective work. Okay, so we got a string here, and what we want to do is this dot drop down dot options dot find o turn o dot text equals, there we go, expression file. And what will this give me back? Gives me an option data. Can I get like the index out of here? No. I don't get how Unity wants me to do this stuff. You literally programmed a game on your own working with people who don't speak your language. You're correct. You can talk about what you do a bit. I mean, that's true, but I didn't program it with people that don't speak my language. I did it entirely by myself because I didn't want to have to go back and forth between language barriers, which is like the worst way I could have gone about doing that. All the artists did not speak my language, for the most part, but that's fine. I could use machine translation as a go-between, for the most part. I am cracked, though. It's true. I don't know if that's coming through on the wine ASMR of me drinking wine right now. What game? Drop a link. 1 second, Denchi. I'll do that. There you go. Works in browser. Not very fun. Probably too hard, but I made it in less than a month. So there's that. I wanted to die again after making it. But I'm alive now, to the extent that I can be. So it made me stronger. It was a very, very powerful moment of validation is not the right word. Fulfillment, I guess, when this got played on stream right before the new year. Did not think it would happen, but arbitrarily, randomly, it did. And I was like, it's all worth it. I feel acknowledged. Okay, so we can find the option item, but I need to get the index. Oh wait, there's that's literally a function. Find index. I forget how to program. Yeah, all the artists were fucking awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't make any of the art. Yes, she did. Right before her most recent model reveal for the pajama costume, she, like, for some reason just brought up this website and then played the game on stream and beat it for the first time, which was cool. But, I was not expecting that, because we gave this to her back in, November. I remember it was a month after her debut, because we started at the day that her debut went. and then I wanted to get it done in like 2 weeks, and it took me 4. And then we delivered it to her on like the 23rd, like right around Thanksgiving, I think. No, it must have been like the 16th, because like I said, it was like exactly a month. Because I remember having this conversation with Havoc, where he's like, okay, so what was the team like for this? And I was like, I built this in a month and a day. So I remember telling him that. So it must have been like the 16th or 17th. And it was the same day she got her gold play button for 1 million subscribers delivered to her by YouTube. So time lined up even though we were very late. We missed the 1 million actual date by like 2 weeks or a week. Yeah, it was a nice thing to do. I'll do another one in the future, probably not tied to any kind of deadline. Okay, so we can get the index here, which is good, and we can do this. There we go. I think that's what I want to do. Oh wait, no, actually this should just be index. This shouldn't be a void, this should be an int. We just return. Wait, but this is going to return a negative value if I can't find it, right? Don't know the case on lore, so I have no idea what's happening there, but it definitely looks fun. Yeah, I mean, it's just like weird in jokes, I guess. The enemies are Peaches because she's from approximately Atlanta, Georgia. The first boss is a giant pineapple pizza because that's the meme. Pretty sus if you ask me. By the way, Havoc, I'm gonna guess you probably don't know. Denshi here is the guy who invented VTube Studio, so make sure to give him a round of applause. I don't know why he's awake right now. It's fucking 4 a.m. in Germany or something like that. 3 a.m. He should really go to bed, but, you know, I'm not his dad. Okay, so this is going to return... I think find index returns a... Of course, that's not helpful. And, of course, there's no docs for it. Let's quickly look up C# find index. I'm worried it's going to return a negative value if it can't find it. I think that's the behavior. Find index. This method returns -1 if an item that matches the conditions is not found. Okay, so that's fine. So we want to do max 0. There we go. Dad tuber Skeletom. That's what I'm aspiring for. Like, honestly, I don't really watch corporate VTubers too much anymore. But back when I was like really deep in the Hololive and cover hole, Aruron I thought was like the coolest guy. And I still think he's really cool. I just don't have much time to watch him anymore. But the way he would frequently do streams where he would just have like a whiteboard, and he would just talk about stuff like, please teach me Western memes, or I will teach you Japanese internet slang. I thought that was extremely good content and worth subscribing as a member to. I'm still a member to this day, but I don't have time to watch very much. I think he's very cool. I think he's got a good energy about him, and obviously there's some parallels here. But to my knowledge, he has not done a pizza cooking stream, so I do have that on him. I'm off to go study IT more. Good luck with your programming. I know you'll do the best. Aw, thanks. You're so sweet. Let me know how many tickets I missed for my moderation duties in the meantime. And I'll get back there in a little bit. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so now that joker is out of my hair, we can do expression to index. I actually don't need this anymore. I don't think. Wait, yes I do. Current index is that. I wish this wasn't just like a... I fucking hate how Unity handles drop downs. I'm gonna be here for like a month, just like spinning my tires thinking about this. So we get the current index. I want the string name of the item it is. So it's drop down to options. Drop down to options, current index. It's just, it's such a weird way of handling this stuff. Dot text? I think that's how I'm supposed to do it. I mean, you knew why. Yeah, okay, so I get the index value, because that's the only thing I can get out of this. I then go to my options list, use that index, get the text, and then I can pass that into the function I just made, which will try and find the index. It's also circular. I wish I could just look up by name value, which I probably could if I was thinking about it a little more clearly. But this also strikes me as an immediate problem because it's going to try and load, I think, before it connects to VTube. Definitely before it connects to VTube Studio, because that takes like a second, even if it does it immediately on wake up. And I want to load the settings before then. So this is actually not great. I can't just immediately set the drop-down value, because this won't be populated yet. Boy, that one's starting to kick in. What do I want to do here? I need to make sure that by the time I load in, no, actually, I need to make sure that this is stored in a way that it will remember what expression it wants to be, and then try and apply it when it finally gets information. This shouldn't be in on enable. This needs to be somewhere else, but I'm not sure where. Oh, wait. I am sure where. I know. Public. Wait. I just had an even better idea. Hold on, I'm a genius. Watch this shit. This is a list of expressions. This is pointless. There's no reason to do this. I'm pretty sure. Because that was making an instance of the list in every time I would make one of these drop-downs, which is not useful. It was maybe a good shorthand, but it was not useful. Really, there needs to be one instance of this, which would be like a static, or I can just use the list that already exists in like that, I think. I think that works. I think that works. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay, so then, what do I want to do? This is gonna need, I guess, a private string. My brain just fizzled out. Like I had like a brilliant idea and that's already gone. What was I gonna do? It's a public void refresh expression list. There we go. Because I can do this like a pub sub kind of process. Current dropdown value expression file is that. But I want to be able to load this in. Baby steps, maybe. Baby steps. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. Hold on. What am I? I'm spinning myself in circles here. I'm thinking about too many things at the same time. I want to be able to have like a pub sub method where I can refresh these rather than just on enable, but I don't want to do it every frame. Because that would mean that you'd constantly be unselecting the thing you had selected, I think? Actually, it might be fine, though, if we get our index beforehand, find the name, as long as it exists, we select it again. This might be fine. Where's my heart rate manager? I can't wait to listen to this VOD and find out that I'm like completely incoherent now because I've had like 2 glasses of wine or something like that. What am I doing here? The expression, get expression state list. We're going to do that, and then we're going to do for each expression module in this dot expression modules module dot refresh expression list. I could actually pass in the list here if I wanted to, and keep that really functional. I'm not sure that that's the right thing to do. Okay. Let's see what happens when I fire this up. I'm not sure if this is going to make selecting something impossible or not. Scene. No. Hotkeys. Hide VS Code. Let's find out what happens. Array out of range. I have made a mistake. Oh boy, have I made a mistake. I'm getting a out of index, or out of bounds exception. Why? Huh? Interesting. Unity is very unhappy. Yeah, I'm making it do a out of bounds exception every frame, which is, you know, not what you're supposed to do. But my library will automatically catch anything that you try and do in an on success callback in a try catch and trigger the on error if it fucks up. So it's all very nicely handled. You can't get like it won't like bomb out the rest of the update loop or anything like that. It's pretty nicely handled. But why? Okay, so it says this is causing an index out of bound exception. I don't know why. I don't know if this returns if... Is this returning -1 if there's no options currently on the list? Perhaps? Let's see. No, it's just returning 0. Okay. Must be non-negative and less than the size of the collection. I'm guessing options just has nothing in it, which is the problem. Hmm. What do? So if there's no options currently, we don't want to try and do this, because this will give you your out-of-bounds exception. So we can do if current index, or actually no, it's if length count greater than 0. Only try and get that if it's like so, but then that is a problem later. Oh wait, here's a time I can use a ternary, guys. It's happening. My brain just put it together. Equals option count greater than 0? Yes. Otherwise, I need to make this like a, I guess, a null. That's fine. This is actually fine. I'm pretty sure. So what's going to happen here? We have our string expression file. Like so. And so if the list of options is greater than 0, as in we have any options, we're going to say our expression file is the name of whatever that option is. Otherwise, it's null. When we get to our expressions to index here, we're going to try and find a, if this is null, we get to here, and we select the maximum of between 0 and find index of wherever that file name is. So if the file name is null, none of them are going to match. We'll get back 0, and we should be fine. Ternary is back on the menu. Yeah. Okay, this is actually a good use of ternary, though, because it means I can always guarantee that this is defined without having to do some weird squirrely brackets. I think that's what I want. We'll see. You forgot to say. You can say it now. Hello. Nope, never mind. Didn't help. What did you forget to say? I'm listening. Why is that returning a... Super Robot Wars both Alpha and Impact. That's more of a Bomb thing. I like Gundam as much as everybody else. More than most people even, but I have not played many Super Robot War games. I know nothing about the different versions of them, is what I'm getting at. But I'm happy for you, because I hear they're good. And obviously there's a lot of mecha fan service happening. Yep, Bond has been streaming it a bunch, and I was co-piloting for... It's Super Robot Wars 30, yeah? I was co-piloting it for the couple of times that she streamed it. I mean, I do like it, I just haven't played it. I don't play very many video games. Like, I'm not kidding when I say, oh, work and no play makes Tom a dull boy. I'm just boring is the problem. I don't have time for this because I spend all my time doing this. Okay. What? How do I fix this? I'm gonna try and fix this and then I'm gonna be done with the stream because I am rapidly losing clarity. So what's the problem that's happening? I'm trying to select set value without notify. I do need to wrap this in a... That's what it is. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Alright, cool. So if I select angry, and I go back to my scroll here. Oh, sorry. I like did a big gasp, it worked. It doesn't throw an exception anymore, but those like get the. Well, that's no good. That part's not working. Why? So the emotions stopped triggering again. Which is a problem. Oh wait, this is the one talking. Or that was the one talking, because I forgot I don't have the loading done yet, so I need to reset the values here. So I can select this to be angry, 85, activate on rising edge, and then there we go. It works again. Cool. Okay. It's correctly getting the correct expression. This should be updated pretty dynamically. Like, hold on, I'm gonna switch to being Akari for a second, because she has a whole different list of emotions. I am a bodacious anime girl now. And now if I close this, her expressions have updated accordingly, so I can have my favorite expression to do. Oh wait, sorry, no, it's the wrong one. Eyes cry, that's the one I always trigger. So like in the demo video, yeah, Akari's great. Like, I would not have been able to test this plugin without her, because I don't have a breathing parameter on my model. There we go. Perfect. She really does. It's great. Okay. So that's working. That's exactly what I had in mind. So I guess the last thing I need to do now is get this to save in a meaningful way. So I should be able to turn this off and turn it back on again, and it should just work. So we're gonna go back to here. God, I like look at this, and my eyes fucking glaze over. I'm gonna be Akari for the rest of the stream, I think, actually. Just because it's easy, and I don't feel like swapping again. God, this is ugly. This is where I'm like, don't use ternaries, don't be like me. No human being can read this math. It's insane. It's like, what does this mean? Question mark, colon. I've got like constant factors. This shit's just bad. It's like a brick of numbers. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. This isn't even actually the right script. Such a penalty. I think sometimes they can be very readable, but other times like that, where you're doing a lot of stuff inline already, it's very not readable. I don't know. I'm a big ternary enjoyer. Just because it guarantees a value being set to a parameter, or a variable. And, like, I think that's important. Okay. So... what was I trying to do here? Okay. We've got our save. Now we need to load. Can I do private void set expression? Like that, I think. And I can just do... like that. Now, the real good shit is when you have nested ternaries, but that's a stream for another day. I don't actually think I have any surviving examples of nested ternaries, but they exist. I've definitely written them before. Oh no, I do have surviving examples of nested ternaries, but not in C#. It's in JavaScript. I can show that when I get back to doing my chatbot. I have nested ternaries there. You have a clip? Of what? It's definitely been lost to the sands of time. Unless you downloaded it. I'm not sure that you actually have anything. No evidence, it's just gone. Bezos destroyed it, he's got my back. So this should do set expression. We give it the file name. If our options are existent at all, greater than 0, we set value to whatever we can, ideally matching on the file name, but otherwise we'll just do wait, no, this won't work. If it tries to load in... This is something I hadn't considered, actually. Oh shit, you do have a clip. How does this... Why did the clips last forever, but the VODs last for 7 days? What the fuck is the logic behind that? That doesn't make any sense. Glad you have it, though. Everybody can go make fun of me from, I'm gonna guess, 6 months ago? Maybe 4 months ago? I don't know. Hey, DY Haku, hello. You're here at the tail end of the stream. I'm probably gonna sign off soon. I'm trying to figure out one last thing here, and this also pops into my head that there's a problem here that I hadn't considered. Now, why would I do that? Yeah, which is, if you have this app running with one model, and you save it, and it remembers whatever expression configurations you have, and then you switch your models, and then you boot up the app some other time, and you've got a different model than when you saved it with, it's not going to be able to find the expressions that you popped into your dropdown, and it's going to select a different expression, because right now I've got it trying to find, like, whatever it can in the options list, basically. And that's not good, because that means it'll fuck with your settings if you've got, like, the wrong model loaded at the wrong time. What's the right way to solve this? Like, so for an example, if I boot up this app right now, and I'm currently Akari, because she's got whatever expressions, I've got my drop down here, and it has a list of possible expressions I can use, right? Which is well and good. So I select Eyes Cry, and the threshold is going to be like 125 BPM, and it's going to activate at that point. Cool, that makes sense. Let's do that. And then I, hit save. It writes this to the file, that there's an expression module in the data for 125 BPM. We activate this expression. But then I stop, and I'm going to go into VTube Studio, and you're going to get to see my busted ass. Pay no attention to the broken man behind the curtain. There we go, that's me. And I boot this back up again. I've got a completely different set of possible expressions. And so when if it tried to load Eyes Sad from Akari, and it doesn't find it on this list, the code that I currently have is engineered to just select, if it can't find the one by that name on the list, it's just going to select whatever it can, like the first item in the list, I think. Which is not how I want it to be. But I can't think of a way to get it to, like, remember the name it's supposed to be, even if that's not a possibility in the list. Because, like, if it was a free text input field, this wouldn't be a problem. You could just input the expression name, and even if it's invalid, it would just be like, well, here's what you put in. I can't do anything with this, but here's what you put. But because I have it be a drop-down, because I don't expect people to know what their expression names are, are you able to... That's what I'm doing right now, right? Like, the register of expressions are coming out of the VTube Studio model. And so it's different per every model. Like, I've got all these that are specific to my model. And then the girl model that I was before has her own expressions, right? And so if I save it under one model and I boot up perhaps you could have an extra drop-down with model names. And each one would have its own drop-down? I guess. That's, I guess, possible. Then you have like an omni config here. Maybe. That would make sense, yeah. That's a good use case. That's a good use case point. Having two separate drop-downs, one for the model and then one for the corresponding expression. I hadn't considered that. People use multiple models, but you're right. They definitely do. People who have multiple outfits have multiple models. You're absolutely right. I'm writing that down. I'm not going to do that now because that's like a whole re-engineer, but I would probably do that off stream. That's a very good idea. Thank you, Raps. Okay, so let me write that down. Or like do a little drawing of model. And then, yeah, I mean, just even different outfits is a perfect use case for that. I'm thinking too small, you're absolutely right. Okay, so then yeah, if these are saved to your model, I mean, the real thing I want to do at some point is have these outputs like saved to a profile, so you could like load your Skeletom profile and it will know like, oh, Skeletom actually wants to turn blue when his heart rate goes up because he doesn't have blood. Akari wants to turn red, you know, and she's got her own expressions. So I'd have like a load feature somewhere in here that lets you just have different profiles, which would make the most sense. But I'm not there yet, not for version 1. But I think that's gonna do it for me. I think I got the expression trigger working, which is the big thing I wanted to do. Like mostly, I gotta make sure it saves and loads. But that's the way I want to handle that is like a big upheaval, and I don't want to get started on that at 10 o'clock, 10:30. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a raid. And I know exactly who I'm going to raid, assuming she's still alive. And she is. Awesome. I am sending you to Jellyfish VTuber, Tsukimi, raid. Let me make sure I can spell her name correctly. Yeah, no problem. Ciao, ciao. Yeah, Bona Sarah, good evening, good night. I'm going to send you guys to Tsukimi, B-D-O-H-R-N-I-I. And I know Fuba will like this because she's playing Super Robot Wars 30 right now. So give her a big skeletal welcome, a cold undead welcome when you guys get there, if you want to stick around. She's great. She does Gunpla building. She's doing a Gunpla video game stream right now. She's very cool. So, you know, stick around if that's your thing. If not, you know, no worries, no obligation. Thank you guys for sticking through as I streamed consciousness my way through programming for 2.5 hours. I've got some good ideas. Definitely came in at the buzzer there, but I will work on those on my own time. And until next time, I'll catch you then. I think I might be streaming tomorrow. It might be with Dawn. I have to talk to her. But there might be another stream tomorrow around this time. And that's going to be it for me. So, Bona Sarah, good night.